Star Wars collectors, welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video and welcome to my review of the Han Solo in Bespin reissue figure in the vintage collection. As promised in my video yesterday where I revealed all of the other figures from the wave, we are going to be doing Han Solo today in this video, and this is probably the best one of the four in my opinion in terms of updates. I really feel that the photoreal deco that they have done on the face has improved the figure, but we're going to check him out in a minute. But let's just take a look at the packaging before we do that. So obviously there are going to be some minor differences between the two, so I'm just going to bring into shot the original Han Solo from 2011, I would imagine. Yeah, 2011. VC50 he was. Obviously the back of the cards back then were loads better. You had a picture of the original Kenner figure that the vintage collection was based on with the card back and everything. I really did like it when they did that. And then obviously other figures from the wave. Apart from that, if we look at the back of this one, pretty bland really. You've got four figures there. VC50 at the top, and then, you know, half the cards basically legal gumph, which I don't think really they can get around, so we can't sort of have a go at them too much for that. But I do apologise about the glare on the card there. Let's try and move that light for you. So apart from that, if you look at the two figures, or the two packaging rather, you can see that this one, the new one, does have the name pill in white. So the writing is in white compared to black there. Not really too sure which one I prefer. And then the only other difference is that on the new one, the blaster is in the bubble there rather than in his holster as it was previously. But we can see there very, very quickly a difference in the face. I think the main difference is going to be on the eyes, and I'm going to explore that and show you that in a bit more detail in a second. But we're going to get this figure out and we're going to check him out first of all. All right then, so before I go into the details of this figure, I just wanted to thank everybody out there that's watching, that has been supporting my campaign of Back TVC, which is obviously Back the Vintage Collection on Instagram and Twitter, or wherever else you have happened to shared it. Thank you so much, but the fight isn't over yet. We still need to show Hasbro how much we care about the vintage collection and how much we want more figures in the line. So be sure to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, or both if you can. I will be sharing some fantastic images that a good friend of mine, Harry, has produced for me, which are going to show off some pretty cool characters that need to still be done in the vintage collection. And they're pretty awesome images, I can assure you of that. So follow me on Instagram and you'll see those coming up. And obviously they will be using the hashtag of BackTVC. So thank you very much for that, guys. All right then, so before we go into the details of the figure, don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe if you're new to the channel, of course. But let's have a look at Han Solo Bespin. So decent figure all round. This has always been a nice Han Solo. Decent looking from ESB, Empire Strikes Back. They've got the outfit spot on. He looks pretty good. Decent blaster in his holster there. You can see the nice gold stripe down his trousers. Always very nice. And the black boots there, of course, with his blue jacket and white undershirt. Very nice indeed. But obviously this is a reissue figure. It was first released in 2011, so we do need to make a comparison of what they've done with the head. Now, whatever you think of the head sculpt, they have actually put a different deco on it, and I personally think it's an improvement, certainly on the one that I've got. So he does look a bit paler, I will say that. But if you look at mine, and this was the same with the General Lando, the eyes on the old one are just a blob of white with a pupil just stuck in the middle, and I think they're just too big for the face. Whereas these ones, they look a lot better. They look a lot more natural. The eyebrows are a little bit thinner. But personally, I would say they've gone a bit too pale on this figure. This one's, the tone's right, but he's just a bit too shiny. And I think that's what they tend to do when they do these photo reels. They take off the shine a little bit just to make them looking a bit more natural. But I just think the old one's too shiny, but this one is just a little bit too pale. But if I was going to pick which one I prefer, I definitely do prefer the new one. And that's not been the case on all of them, really. I mean, the Luke Skywalker, it looks okay, but perhaps the old one was slightly better. Articulation on the figure's great. He's got everything you need, of course. The head's on a ball joint. You've got the ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed elbows, swivel wrists. You've got a torso swivel there. You've got ball jointed legs, ball jointed knees, and obviously ball jointed ankles. Almost forgot what those were then. The gun, as I said, sits in the holster very nicely. It's not going to go anywhere, and it is a nice blaster. Typical Han Solo blaster there, with the silver on the end and the brown handle. He also did come with 2 accessories. He came with these goggles, which I'm not going to attempt to get on over his head. I don't want to stretch them. I wouldn't use those anyway. And he obviously comes with his sort of screwdriver thingy, hydro spanner, whatever you want to call it. Some tool that he uses to fix the Millennium Falcon. Might be a welder actually, isn't it? It's a welder. So there you go then, guys. That is the reissue of Han Solo in his Bespin outfit VC50. Here he is against the old one. I do prefer the new one, albeit he is slightly too pale in my opinion. But I do prefer it to the shiny one with the big white eyes. I think this one just looks a little bit more realistic, and I think they've done a pretty good job with it. All right then, guys, so keep backing the Back TVC campaign on Instagram and Twitter, as I mentioned, and I thank you very much for watching. As per usual, we're going to be back with some more videos very, very soon indeed. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, and we shall see you on the next one.